On today's Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show, the Bucks prepare for their final game of the season. This week, we'll preview their matchup against the Northern Arizona Wranglers. And while the Bucks may have had the week off, we'll check in on some other teams who had to work over the holiday weekend. Plus, he's only been the Bucks quarterback for a few weeks, but Giovanni Sanders has been making waves long before that. It's all coming up on this week's Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show, which starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome inside our Beck Studios. I'm your host David Sugarman, and this is the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show. Hard to believe, but we're nearly ready to put a bow on the Bucks' 2022 season. Prior to the last game this week, the Bucks got the holiday weekend off with a bye, and safe to say that he was appreciative for the late time in the season off.
It was definitely something different. It was different, but it helped out more than I thought. I didn't even know I needed this much rest. You know, I'm so thankful we did have one. You know, it's the last week. You want to go out with a bang, and you want to go out full effect. So I think it's doing us some good.
I stayed here. I stayed out in Bismarck. You know, we were all on the river. A lot of us were on the river. You know, I ended up on a boat. You know, so I'm not going to turn that down. You know what I'm saying? Playing in where I was, you know, a couple months ago in Dodge City, it wasn't too much water around. So definitely got to, I guess, take it while you can.
Kind of got to take a break, you know, decompress all the way, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. It's good to kind of take a step back every now and then and just kind of reflect on how things are going and clear your brain, get ready for a whole fresh week.
Now, coming off the bye, the Bucks will have their last test of the season against the Northern Arizona Wranglers, a team that has far and away been the best turnaround story in the IFL this year. After winning one game all of last season, the Wranglers have bounced back to the tune of 11-3. That's good enough for the third best record in the league and second in the West, with 2 games left in their season. With weapons all over the field on both sides, the Bucks are looking forward to the challenge as they try and pick up momentum headed into the offseason.
NAZ is a great team, man. You like to match up against the best. Everybody want to consider themselves the best at their position. So why not, like I said, number 2 team, you know, give us the opportunity to test our strength, you know.
I don't think it's really how you start, it's how you finish. So as long as we finish strong, we kind of finish on the collective, you know, where guys are still clicking and buying into what we can build for the, you know, upcoming seasons. I think that's everything that we're looking for. They're ballers, man. They fly around, they make plays, you know what I'm saying? You can, and I think they're a big opportunistic defense. So it's like if you give them opportunities, they'll hurt you, you know what I'm saying? So got to protect the ball, got to make sure we stay ahead of the chains and stuff like that.
Their secondaries, second to none as well. So, but I think if we're firing on all cylinders, our offense can compete with almost anybody, so I'm excited to see how that matchup goes.
Not a particularly busy week around the IFL this holiday weekend, but a few other teams in action. Vegas, no problems with Bay Area, 65-33 win for the Nighthawks. Iowa over Massachusetts, 35-26. Couple other games as well. Northern Arizona, we just touched on, having that great bounce-back season, did come up short in the battle for Arizona supremacy this week. The Rattlers take down Northern Arizona 40-28. And elsewhere, another Arizona team getting a win. Tucson, the Sugar Skulls, take down the San Diego Strike Force 53-47. Time for us to take our first break. When we come back, we'll sit down with Bucks head coach Rod Miller. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show.
Now you can have the personalized forecast at your fingertips when you need it. Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. Travel the country with Trent on the Loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the Loose.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who simply to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they're afraid it will destroy their lives. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate the IRS and fight for you to save you money. Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for clients. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
Hello, welcome back inside the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show with the Bucks head coach himself, Rod Miller. Coach, we talked about a little last week, a little bit of an odd timing with the bye week coming before your last game, but with so many new additions over the last back half of the season, how nice was it for these guys to get a little time to get to know each other? I know they took advantage of it.
Yeah, no, the extra time was always needed, to try to bond on and off the field. The guys were able to hang out a little bit. We had a cookout on Sunday with the guys there to kind of relax and get to know each other and do that. But also as well, the guys got together on their own and did some throwing last week and some running because we could not have an organized practice. So that extra time for those guys to gel was much needed.
I was going to say, especially with the guys who have been here from training camp in the first few weeks of the season, mentally, where is everybody at? Just sort of fatigue-wise, physically as well.
It's a season grind. That's always the same. Anytime you get towards the end of the season, be it, regular season, playoff time, your body starts wearing down and mentally, your mind starts to wander. So having these kind of times, you can sit back, refresh, and recap was good. I think a couple guys, even went out on a boat on Monday. So that was good. That's what you need, a mental break to get your mind back right. So it was a good timing.
You round out the season with Northern Arizona this week, a team that's had a tremendous turnaround. 1 win last year, 11 this year. What do you think has been the biggest reason for their turnaround?
They got a good coaching staff. They changed the coaching staff, and Coach Moss has been around for a long time, and him and Rob, they've been working together for a couple of years. So they got a chance to come in and build what they wanted to do, brought some new players in, and, brought the coacher in. So that's kind of what you needed, and they got guys to kind of help improve what they did last year. So, they were patient in the process, and they, came back and built and did stronger this year.
Saw some offensive highlights there. However, all year they've been one of the best defensive teams in the league, giving up the least amount of points, leading the IFL in sacks with defensive end Jaquan Artis. What's made them so efficient defensively?
They fly around. They got a good front and they got a good secondary. The thing is, they mix their things up. When you watch film, they do a lot of different things, week in and week out. So you got to prepare for different schemes you'll see against different formations. So, we're preparing for everything that we've seen and also prepare for some wrinkles to be thrown in. So, but they just come out, they play aggressive and they play fast and they play fundamentally sound.
Offensively, middle of the pack in most categories. However, one standout has been their quarterback, Caleb Barker, especially his ability to run the football. How do you game plan for him defensively this week?
You got to come out and say, again, make sure you can see him and contain him because everything goes through him. I know he was gone for a couple of weeks and they just got him back, starting last week, that game against Arizona. So I know they're glad to have him back and he's a big cog for their offense. So we have to come out and say, again, account for him and make sure we can keep him contained.
Looking big picture, what is it sort of like? I know it's business as usual getting ready for the game, but does it feel any different knowing this is your last game and sometime next week guys are leaving town?
You want it to feel that way, hopefully get a win out this game here, so that would make a difference as well. But, we prepare every week like we're trying to go out and play a game. And then, again, got one game to prepare for that's left in the season. Wish we could have more, but, it wasn't in the cards for us this season to have that. So we're going to go out and play the best we can. And like I said, this will be our playoff game, our last game. Go against one of the top teams of the league and kind of see where you're at and how you finish.
In your mind, what's the biggest key to getting the win and going into the offseason with some momentum?
We're just going in and playing hard. Like I told the guys, we have nothing to lose. We got to play for it. They're still playing for contention, try to play for that number 1, number 2 seed. So we just nothing to lose. Just go in and have fun and go out with a bang.
With all that in mind, trying to end with a bang, as it were, what is the code word for the week?
Code word for the week is build. We want to take this game and see what we can build off of this, build momentum, like you said, to go into the offseason, but also use this game to kind of build for your rebuild, for next season. It's kind of see a couple guys we're going to take a look at different spots just to kind of see what we have going to the offseason. A couple guys need to get a little more film on so we can kind of see. So they'll play a series or two here and there so we can get a feel for what they have and use this game to build on to success for the next season.
Build is the code word for the week. Bismarck Bucks Football on Facebook, at Bismarck Bucks on Twitter, at Bismarck_Bucks on Instagram. Again, take build to those social media channels for a chance to win some cool Bucks swag and prizes. Coach, want to touch on one thing you said there in terms of evaluating certain guys and hoping to bring certain guys back for next season. Who are a couple of guys that you're hoping that if they continue to play well, that you'd love to see in a Bucks uniform next year?
Mr. Gross has come in and dealt well at receiver. Want to see a little more with him as well, doing some different things at some different spots as well. We brought in another quarterback as well. We want to see, what he can do in live action. See if we want to bring him back, to give him a chance to compete in training camp next year. So those are the things that you're looking at, those type of guys, to see what they can do. We're getting a guy back that's been injured, who's supposed to be a good player for us, our third Rob Brown. So he's coming back, RB3. He'll be back this week to play, and we're excited to see him because he was going to be one of our leaders until he broke the bone in his arm. So those are the type of things that we want to see to build off of for next year.
We've been thinking all season, God, this roster needs another Rob Brown, because on our side that hasn't been confusing enough.
I can imagine. Trust me, I've been in this business a long time. I've never had a team with 3 guys by the same name. Never happened.
Not related on this one, though.
No, not related, but he has a twin brother.
Please don't.
He plays football, but he's a receiver.
We'll get into all that. We don't have enough time for all the Rob Browns. Head coach Rod Miller, thanks so much for joining us. We'll take a quick break, come back on the other side, and learn a little bit more about quarterback Giovanni Sanders.
Beck News is your leader in local. Beck specials and live information for you. Original programming. Exclusive local sports. Beck is local for you. Uncensored topics and uncensored opinions. Unapologetic politics, where all sides are represented. Full episodes online anytime at beck.news. All in one network. Your leader in local, Beck News.
Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them tack glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, tack glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. Tack glasses improve optical clarity so you can see clearly, even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our tack glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing!
Act now to get your tack glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. So don't delay. Order yours today.
To order, call 1-800-288-9503. That's 1-800-288-9503, or order online at trytackglasses.com. 1-800-288-9503.
Careful, your regular old can opener leaves razor-sharp edges.
Ouch!
You need the new Safety Can Express. Now you can pop the top off and leave perfectly smooth edges on the lid and the can. Other openers use blades to cut through the lid, leaving razor-sharp edges. Safety Can Express actually unseals the lid from the side, leaving smooth, safe edges. Safety Can works on broken pop-top cans, dented cans, big heavy cans, small odd-shaped cans too. No more sharp steel when Safety Can breaks the seal. Call and get the new Safety Can Express for just $29.99. But wait, call now and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. We'll even ship it to you fast and free. This offer is not available on Amazon. Call now.
Call 1-800-991-1611 or visit safetycanexpress.com. So call 1-800-991-1611 now.
Quarterback Giovanni Sanders only has joined the Bucks for the last 5 games of the season. However, he's quickly made an impression in Bismarck. In addition to his 11 total touchdowns in 4 games, turns out Sanders has a few skills off the field as well. Our Chris Clayton has more.
And now Sanders back out to lead this offense for Bismarck. Only his 3rd start in a Bucks uniform. Zips it over the middle to a wide open Poe across midfield.
Here with Bismarck Bucks quarterback Giovanni Sanders. Giovanni, been with the team now a couple weeks, already the starting quarterback. Can you just tell me about how your time with the Bucks have been so far?
It's been good, man. You know, the coaching staff, the players, everyone's been, super welcoming, helpful, getting me acclimated to the team and whatnot. Just at this point, just getting used to being in Bismarck, North Dakota.
So your background, a little bit of an unconventional road. You played 1 year of college football. You played wide receiver.
Yes, sir.
And from there became a professional quarterback. So how did that take place, that kind of development from you becoming a professional quarterback?
I like to say just trust your process. So at that point in time, I guess I was just trusting my process. I've always kind of, been a guy who always wanted to play quarterback, but always had a skill set of like running back, receiver, just ultimate skill guy. So when I finally got the opportunity a couple of years back, to get behind the reins at quarterback, I never looked back.
What made you commit to wanting to be a quarterback as opposed to embracing being a different skill position, running back or wide receiver?
I've just always been a natural leader, so I felt like, just being in control of the game, kind of being in a situation where if the ball's in my hands, I feel like, we're going to be victorious or, something positive is going to happen. So I always just wanted to be in that leadership role.
For a minute, whole team full of winners. Anybody here can get it. Get tuned into the realest now. Anybody here can get it. Treat the game like a scrimmage now. Mess up here with the flow.
So let's talk a little bit more about you personally. So professional quarterback, but also you're an artist. You're a rapper. Go by Ocho.
Yes,
Can you tell me about your background in music and how that came about?
I've been making music, man, since I was like 8 years old. That came from my family. That came from my mother specifically. She was huge on, singing in the church and whatnot. So, even when I started making music, I couldn't really be a rapper without being a gospel rapper. So I kind of went through that at first and went through the phases and then, kind of stepped aside and did my own thing. But, I've been rocking with that since I was, a kid.
You've had a lot of success so far as an artist, but what do you still, I guess, what are your hopes and dreams, accomplishments do you want to have in music?
At this point, I just feel like, I'm a type of guy that just, I kind of go with the flow. So I put out music, put it behind my highlight tapes. I kind of like, self-market my own self. So I don't know, one day maybe hear my own music in the arena, during halftime. So that'll be something that's definitely on the bucket list.
And on your hat, you have your clothing brand. There's a logo for it. And so you're kind of a Renaissance man, a lot going on. Right. Tell me about your clothing brand.
It's called Ambitionaire. We started back in 2018, back in Boston. It's myself and my cousin, Marshall. So, we just kind of monetize it. I monetize it with the football, monetize it with the music, and, that's the Ocho brand.
Do you hope to be, I guess, accomplish a lot of things in both football and in music and clothing, or is there one that you choose as kind of your biggest passion?
I mean, everyone's always asked me that question. I feel like at this point everything ties into each other, with the sports, with the music, and with the with the fashion. So I feel like it's really just one big thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the brand, it's the Ocho brand. So whatever pops, it pops. If not, we're gonna keep moving in the direction whatever we're going at that particular moment.
So obviously, one game left remaining here in the season. What do you still want to accomplish for that final game?
We clearly want to get a win. That's the biggest thing that we want to do. But at the same time, we want to finish strong, man. Just to have something to go into next season, looking forward to. Also, just still getting that chemistry with guys. Still trying to figure out the offense. Still, trying to get a gauge of just being in the IFL in general. So, as long as we finish strong, I feel like that's the most important thing.
And I guess as my last question, what's your favorite part about playing for Rod Miller and the Bucks?
Man, Coach Miller, man, he's a guy. He's a player's coach. So he's a guy that really believes in you, and he'll make you tap into another level and believing in yourself as well. So super trustworthy. You know, he's a real guy, loyal guy. So, you know, I love playing for Coach Miller and the coaching staff here in the Bismarck Bucks.
Chris Clayton with us now, preparing to drop your own mixtape, I hope sometime soon.
No, you don't want that.
But in all seriousness, Giovanni, such an impressive guy. The clothing, the music, obviously, the football. When you were putting that piece together, what stood out about him to you?
Well, I think what's awesome about Giovanni is he's so well-rounded as a person. Obviously, with his talent, with his ability on the field, his musical interests, his clothing interests. But also, I think it's an amazing story because it sums up what the IFL really is. It's a guy that didn't really get opportunities in college to play quarterback, and he wants to play quarterback. That's his long-term goal. So he worked hard. He put in the time, working out. He got to semi-professional, played quarterback. And now he's in the indoor football league and playing quarterback in front of crowds week in and week out. So I think that's what's really special about Giovanni is he sums up what the indoor football league should be, is giving guys that are really talented, what we've seen from Sanders week to week with the Bucks, a chance to shine. And he's done that so far. And he's a nice guy. He's a big fan of the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show, David Sugarman. And so he'll be happy to be on that. But it's just really impressive person overall. And I think he's a guy that's really easy to root for if you're a Bucks fan.
He's only been with the Bucks the last few games of the season. Going into this last game, what has he shown so far that would make Bucks fans excited if he decides to come back, or if the coaching staff decides to bring him back next season?
Yeah, and he did say, Giovanni said he would love to be back next year. So he's trying to prove to the Bismarck Bucks coaches that he's deserving and should be coming back next year. But to your question, he's a guy that, you know, he's been a little bit inconsistent, as all the Bucks have. But when the Bucks are really rolling, you can see they're locked in and everybody's on the same page. He's got a very good communication with his teammates when you consider he's only been with the team for about a month. And he's obviously got that dual threat ability to be able to throw into traffic and also run. I just think for him it's really a lot about consistency and finding that ability to move the offense each and every drive, because we've seen drives this year where they are just on the move. He's throwing strikes, so just all about finding that rhythm and being consistent.
Chris, thanks so much. Great job on the piece, my friend, and we'll see you around.
Thank you very much.
Bucks insider Chris Clayton. We'll take a short break, come back, and wrap things up here on the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show.
Beck Communications is honored to be recently recognized with 3 Broadband Now awards. Beck Communications Cooperative was awarded in the categories of Top Internet Speeds Nationwide, Top 3 Fastest Internet Providers in North Dakota, and North Dakota's #1 fastest fiber provider. It's only through the support of our members and customers that Beck Fiber delivers award-winning speeds and service. Thank you, Beck Communications Cooperative members and customers, for your years of continued support.
At Beck Communications, we've been planning for your future. Over the past decade, we've placed nearly 200,000 miles of dedicated fiber optics in the ground. Enough fiber optic strands to circle the world 8 times. Taking no shortcuts, we connected every home and business in our service area with dedicated fiber optics. It's your personal, unrestricted, unthrottled connection to the world. Best of all, this dedicated fiber means you do not share your connection. We call this intimate dedicated connection Beck Fiber. Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private. Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Welcome back inside the Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show. No hit of the game this week because, well, no game, but we do still have a code word winner, and it is one Daniel Schomer. Daniel, congratulations. We'll be getting in touch with you very soon about your prize, maybe some cool Bucks swag. We'll get you updated on that very soon. If you want to be great like Daniel, you got to pay attention right now because we only got a couple of coaches shows left. The code word for this week is build. Trying to build some momentum going into the offseason are the Bucks. Obviously, been a little bit of a difficult year trying to build momentum, trying to start the rebuild, and trying to start building chemistry with new guys that maybe will be brought back this time next year as the Bucks try and plan ahead for next year with their last game this week. So the keyword is build. Take that to Bismarck Bucks Football on Facebook, at Bismarck Bucks on Twitter, and at Bismarck_Bucks on Instagram. Once again, the keyword is build for this week. Before we go, quick look at the Bucks' upcoming schedule. Obviously, upcoming, this is it. Northern Arizona this Saturday, 8:05. Kickoff at Northern Arizona. We will have that game broadcast here on Beck Sports this Saturday night as well. Make sure to come back next week. It will be our final coaches show. We'll wrap things up, looking back some of the best moments from the 2022 season. Look ahead a little bit as well. But for now, that'll do it for this week's Bismarck Bucks Coaches Show. Make sure to tune in for that final game of the season this Saturday, 8:05 against the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Until then, so long and have a safe week.
Now you can have the personalized forecast at your fingertips when you need it. Beck's exclusive Weather Insight is information tailored to you. Radar, weather alerts, forecasts, and videos. Download the free Weather on Beck News app. Search your app store now.
We have always said, and will continue to say on this show, that it's not enough to just trust the plan. This has been the reality in Mexico for close to 2 decades now.
Hey y'all, it's Trent on the loose. I'm a 6th generation farmer, husband, patriot, father. And as much as I'd love to just sit here under this shade tree and celebrate my own place on my front porch, truth of the matter is that people don't know who, where, and how is producing their food. So travel the country with Trent on the loose, and we'll find those interesting human interest stories behind the people that bring us the efficient food supply. Trent on the loose.
We're the ladies of Another View.
You think about the kind of person who is stupid enough to think that they can raise a tiger.
Bringing you our take on local issues.
Off your shirt. Sunburn, you better take care when you can't stand to sit down in your favorite chair.
Views you won't see anywhere else.
And it's like a river wearing down sharp stones and softening them up.
Catch us weekdays at 4:30 Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Lori Hins here with No Apologies on Beck. You've got a movie.
Of course I've got a movie. What do you mean?
You are the king of all media. How silly of me, where we bring you our after-hours oasis of sanity.
You're going to see that this is an intentional destruction of the United States in 3 very intentional ways.
Every Saturday and Sunday.
There was not a single pro-life women's voice in Congress at that time.
On Beck and Beck.News.
If you've got the TV volume way up right now, then you really need these. These tiny but powerful little hearing aids are the Nano CIC Recharge, priced at only $297 for a full pair. These are not simply amplifiers. These are ultra high quality, ultra reliable hearing aids, priced thousands less than other hearing aids. They fit right in your ear. Nothing shows in the back